This is John T for the Boxing Voice, and I'm delighted to say that I'm joined this evening by middleweight Denis Mama's Boy Douglin. How you doing, Denis? You all right?
I'm doing well, man. I'm blessed. Yes, sir.
Good stuff. How's your day been? You've been sparring and training, or just a bit of light work today?
Just some light work today. No sparring. We done a little preparation. So just getting the weight down, working out, stretching, staying loose, having fun now, man. I remember back when I first started boxing, fight week was like hell week. But we as we become better professionals, fight week is the fun week now. So I relax, have fun on Saturday.
Excellent. So I take it you're confident of hitting weight on Friday. That's all going to be good?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good stuff. Okay, well, look, you've got a massive fight this Friday, Saturday. We'll come on to that in a second. If you don't mind me asking, today is International Women's Day, and you have a very interesting story. It's the first time we've had you on the site, so definitely interested to find out about your mum. So for any of our fans who don't know, I think you're the only professional boxer in the world that has their mum as their trainer, which I find fascinating and really interesting, Denis. How did that come about?
Well, I started boxing when I was 8. She brought me to the gym. She wasn't a boxer. She didn't have any experience. I was in Brooklyn, New York, which is a rough area. She's wanted me to learn how to defend myself. So we went together. And she started boxing when I started boxing. I had a trainer. I didn't really like boxing, but I got good at it. So we started fighting. I did well. I was winning. I won fights that I shouldn't have won because everybody thought the other kid was better than me. But I won those fights. And then one day we were watching. She made me watch Roy Jones versus David Telesco, and I Radio Music City Hall. And Roy Jones was taking forever to come out, and I was like, "Who is this guy?" But then he comes out finally, and he has the tuxedo shorts on. He has 2 rappers come out with him. He's dancing. Then he gets in the ring. And he beats David Telesco up, and I'm like, "Wow, I want to do this, man!" Like, so that's when Roy Jones is one of the reasons I fell in love with boxing. And once I told her I really want to do it, she changed. She was like, okay. So she would watch me in the gym, but then when I get home, she'll make sure I do running. And if she felt like when I'm in the gym, if my jab was too low, she made me come home and do 1,000 jabs. She just became crazy. And she really learned the sport. I worked with, if you look at my Instagram, I work with all sorts of trainers. And she's always confident in her ability and confident in her motherhood to let me train with all sorts of trainers. And she picked up from everybody. And then when I moved to New Jersey from Brooklyn when I was 16, we were looking for a trainer, and I asked her, I was like, "Mom, why don't you just train me?" And she was like, "Okay, we'll do it until you find a trainer." But then we never found a trainer. She just became my trainer, and the mama's boy thing took off. And then when I was 12 years old, when I was 12, because me and her were so close, I was in a tournament, and I put mama's boy on my shorts just because she was always around me, and everybody always made fun of me for being a mama's boy, so they called me mama's boy. So I put it on my shorts as a joke, and when I was fighting, the crowd started chanting mama's boy, and it was just such a crazy feeling. And I was like, wow, this is it. I'm mama's boy.
That's such an interesting story. How did it feel knowing, I mean, for every fighter, having your trainer in the corner, knowing that they've got your back, but knowing that it's your mum and there's probably no one on the planet who would love you more or care for you more. So the loyalty and the bond must have been so strong and great for you in that corner.
100%. Honestly, it feels like I get to go home between every round and talk to my mom. I'm saying like that. It's such an amazing feeling. Although she's not a mom in my corner, she's very mean. But not mean, but she's very firm and telling me to do the game plan and stuff like that. But it's just I know it's love. I'm saying like I know I'm safe. If she tells me in the corner that I can win, I feel in my heart I can win. It's not like a trainer just pushing you and they just want you to win. Like it's my mom. If she don't think I can win, she'll pull me out.
Excellent. So you mentioned that some people took the mickey out of you. I personally think it's a great story, but did you get a lot of stick from anybody saying that A, it's a woman, and B, what does she know? Like, no disrespect, Mum. I mean, your career's amazing, but there must have been people who challenged your thought process.
100%. I still get that to this day. People hit me up saying you need a real trainer and stuff like that because of the losses that I have. But again, that doesn't bother me. Me and my bond is super close, and we're making history. And that's the goal. It's not about the record. It's not about the belts. It's about making history, changing how people look at boxing, changing the dynamics of a trainer and a fighter, changing the father-son thing. Like moms hit me up all the time. Talking about how they can't wait to be like me and my mom. Like that feels amazing. So yeah, I still get people that say that. But what people don't know is my losses don't come from a lack of her training. It comes from my life on the outside. I was doing bad stuff. I wasn't taking boxing serious, partying a little bit too much. And that's where the losses come from. But of course, everyone just looks at when I lose, they blame her right away. So It is what it is. But we're doing well. We're super blessed. Life is good, man. Like from me and my mom, we're in New Jersey. Opened a gym in Jersey. Moved to Vegas. Opened a gym in Vegas. We have life is good, man. I'm extremely blessed and super happy to make history with my mom.
Excellent stuff. Well, look, she's done great with you. You've had a great career. You mentioned a couple of defeats, which I'll come on to that in a minute, if that's okay. But before I do,
Of course.
am I right in saying that you had Floyd Mayweather Sr. as part of, I don't know if it was one of your camps or a few camps, he was part of your training. That must have been quite surreal for, maybe not you, but for onlookers. You've got one of the best trainers out there, arguably by a lot of people, and maybe he's playing second fiddle to your mum. That must have been quite surreal.
Yeah, having Floyd in my corner was actually amazing. When I moved to Vegas, I moved by myself. So my mom she was still working. So Floyd was my trainer. He was actually my only trainer. She came to the fight and worked the corner with Floyd, but Floyd was actually in front. She was behind Floyd. And it was great. It was great. She used to fly out and check out the training, watch what Floyd's doing with me, pick up notes and stuff. Because she's learning from one of the best trainers in the world, yeah, who gave birth to one of the best fighters in the world. So she sat back and watched him for a while and learned a lot from him. And then I worked with Eddie Mustafa Muhammad. She learned from him. I mean, I worked with Jose Benavidez Senior. She learned from him. So she's just very humble, and she knows that she doesn't know it all. And I feel like that's the best place to be in when you're trying to learn. So you have to understand that you don't know everything. So she's that kind of person, and then we pick it up. So yes, working with Floyd was amazing. It's just part of my story.
Excellent. Well, happy International Ladies' Day for Mum. I'm sure you'll pass that on to her. Now, look,
Of course.
moving forward to your fight, you've got a huge fight coming up at the weekend. It's on a Dazn card. You're flying down to Dallas later in the day. What do you know about your opponent, Austin Williams? He's a friend of our show. We've interviewed him before. There's a lot of hype and a lot of expectation from Matchroom there.
I mean, I've just recently heard of him, but I watched him. I think he's really good. He's coming to win. He's an exciting fighter. He looks to knock people out, get rid of them. He has a really good overhand left that I've seen. So I think he's coming to win. This the same way. This is my redemption shot. This is his shot to take himself to the next level. So I'm not sleeping on him at all when he's coming to win. But I just feel like it's levels, and he's not quite there yet. I don't think this is a right fight for him yet, in my personal opinion. But we'll see. I don't know him as well as he knows himself. So he jumped on the fight ASAP, and me and him spoke. He was very respectful. I was very respectful. So shout out to Austin. It's gonna be fireworks. It's gonna be a great fight.
Yeah, as I said, they did take that fight straight away, and there's been a lot of noise the last week or so around, well, what a great step up for him. You've mentioned what maybe he might pose for you, so you've done your homework. You know that he brings power. He's definitely one to look out for and got a bright future. What do you think that you might have that might be too much for him?
Just my experience, man. I've been in the ring with some of the best, and I've learned how to see things that the average fighter that you don't see it yet. I'm saying, like, when you look at the greats and how they move and the shots they defend and the traps they set, it's something that you don't just learn in the gym. It takes experience. It takes years. If you look at, for example, not compare myself to Canelo. If you look at Canelo versus James Cookman, and you look at Canelo versus his last fight, that's a completely different fighter. That happened because of the experiences that he's had with the fight with Floyd, and his fights ago. It just he's gotten a lot better because of the experience. So I just feel like that's just what it is. Like you have to learn. You have to crawl before you can walk. But I feel like right now, Amo is a really fast crawler, and someone told him to walk with me, but he's not ready to walk yet.
Really interesting. I mean, as a fan myself, when I look at it on paper, you have got the undefeated youngster who is definitely going places. But when I look at your CV and your record, mate, you mentioned a couple of the losses, but the people you've lost to, you know, they're like former or current world champions. You've got Benavidez, sorry, apologies, I think I got that wrong first. He's undefeated world champion. You had George Groves, he became a world champion. Charlo, there's some derail. These are some big names on there, so you definitely have the experience on your side. And I, for one, will be looking forward to this fight with great anticipation, mate. So good luck in your fight at the weekend. I'm sure you'll both serve up a spectacle there. Just quickly before I let you go, obviously that you're one of the main support on a big card. Who's going to win the main fight there out of Estrada and Chocolita? The first one served up a great fight about 10 years ago. So I'm looking forward to this rematch. Who's going to win it?
I think Chocolatito's gonna win it, man. I think he's gonna win it. So I'm excited about that fight. But I will say this: if Ammo is coming the way I think he's coming, I think our fight is gonna steal the show. Our fight is gonna be the fight of the night of the card. But Chocolatito's fight is gonna be a great fight. Rematches are always great. So this card is gonna be action packed, man. Make sure you guys tune in. It's gonna be a great fight because we're both coming to win.
Right, we'll definitely be tuning in. So one last question for you, mate. Prediction from you. Are you going to stop him? And if so, roughly what round? Or are you going to take him the distance and win on points?
You know what? I don't like predicting for myself. I'm just gonna say I'm gonna win, whatever it takes to win. I'm not sure how he handles my punch. I'm not sure the level of shape he's in. So I don't want to say I'll knock him out. I think that's disrespectful to predict knockouts. Although fighters do it, I think it's disrespectful because I don't know how much better you've gotten in the last 8 weeks while you were training. So you watch the same videos of yourself that I watch. So if you catch your mistakes, you can fix. You could be a whole new fighter. So I don't want to predict what round it will be, but I will predict that I'm gonna win. No matter what happens, I'm gonna win.
And it's a big fight for you. Like you said, it's a redemption kind of fight. You lost your last time out. So you're on a big card against someone who's expected to do very big things. So just what would you do if you win this? Where do you maybe see the next fight and start looking for banging on the door for a title shot? Or
Yeah, I mean, this fight gives me, I can now call out, not a title shot yet, but I can call out the guys that are right in line for a title, like a Chris Eubanks. Eubank, who I'm a fan of, and he's a great fighter. I would love to fight Chris out there. I would come out there, just go to the O2 Arena, something like that. So again, I know I wouldn't, after this fight, I don't warrant a world title shot yet, but it warrants me to fight at somebody who's right there. So I would definitely love to come out there and see you guys and fight Chris.
Well, do you know what? I meant to ask you before. That answers my question. I was going to say, did we treat you well when you came over to fight George Groves? Did we look after you in England yet?
Man, it was a crazy experience, man. I was nervous going out there. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be booed. They were throwing stuff at me. But the UK fans were so welcoming. I feel like they like me more than they like George at the time. So
you also fought in Liverpool, right? Which is the north side of England, and George Groves is from London, so that's a bit further south. But yeah, look, we'd love to have you over here again, and that's a good person that you mentioned, Eubank. You know, and again, he's managed by someone you've mentioned now. That's Roy Jones Jr. So we're all waiting to see who he's going to get announced to fight. So if you put on a show, let's see what can happen. All right. Well, look.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for your time. We really appreciate it. Have a safe flight down and good luck at the weekend. All right.
Thank you. I appreciate it, sir.
Cheers, Dennis. Thank you.
Enjoy the video. Feel free to hit the like, subscribe, and share. As always, if you want to support us to the next level, head over to the patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. We have tons of exclusive from Border Wars, Entitled, betting shows. The list goes on and on and on. But in addition to that, if you guys have questions for fighters, trainers, and promoters, this is where you can submit them. We will run out, get these questions answered, and put it back on the show just for you guys. Appreciate it. Peace.